Okay, well, that was awesome to hit that weight for a competition pause double. But overall, just being able to fight through that press um, and not have my hips come up too high or anything like that, I felt like for the most part, kept my hips down. There might have been a you know, a very, very brief second that my butt came off the mat just a tiny bit. So, um, 100% clean, no, but for the most part, hitting 315 for a pause double, I'll take it. Especially just the way other lifts are going, relying on bench to just carry my energy and positivity, focusing a lot on bench because is nationals out of the cards now? I don't know, but it is feeling a little bit unlikely given the circumstances because my hamstring tendinopathy is coming back, and it's different than a muscle strain. Anybody that's been involved in athletics or weight training, you've had a muscle strain. Feels like a little bit of a stretch. I've had quads, hamstrings, biceps, pecs, um, a little bit of rehab and stuff like that, and usually fine in a few days. But the hamstring tendinopathy, it mostly creeps into my deadlifts, and I had it pretty bad for a couple years in like 2022 and 23, I think. And a lot of times it was mostly in deadlifts where I would be picking up the weight, and right as I'm transitioning over my knees and trying to lock out, it's this feeling of, for one thing, pain and a ton of tension. But rather than that tension being in the muscle and feeling like I can push through it, it gets to this point of I don't feel my muscle working. I feel everything way up in my tendon, like that connects way up high. I can feel everything in that tendon, and all that stress is right there. And it's like I don't have any control over my muscle to contract and finish that movement. And that's kind of creeped back in. Last week, I had 2 deadlifting sessions. Last Wednesday, today's Tuesday, February 11th. Last Wednesday, I was deadlifting, did not go well, missed 315. That hamstring pain creeped back in. That was pretty frustrating and discouraging. Gave myself a day of rest on Thursday, did some heat rehab and eating well, sleeping well, doing a little bit of mobility, foam rolling, stuff like that. And then Friday came back to try to do another deadlifting session. I was able to hit 315, I think, for one. I don't even know if I hit. I actually don't even know if I don't think I hit a single rep and I missed it. Um, it felt better than Wednesday, but still that pain, and it's pretty significant. And it just keeps me from locking out that weight. And then unfortunately, I also had that pain on Monday, just yesterday, in my squats. I was supposed to try to be hitting around 385 plus for some doubles, and I hit 365. First rep felt good, but the second rep, right as I was kind of locking out, hit depth, was coming up, maybe that last quarter of the movement, I felt it in my hamstrings. And so it's kind of just discouraging that I'm not hitting the training numbers that I feel like I need to in order to push for the numbers that I need to get on meet day in order to have the total to qualify for nationals. So moving forward, bench is going to be just a huge driver, just putting a lot of focus and energy into being super positive and confident in bench. And then whatever happens on meet day, it just kind of is what it is. I'm going to have to dial back the intensity and load management with squats and deadlifts and just manage around pain. It's something that is just, I don't know, overuse or overstress of my hamstrings or something. I'm not quite sure, but it's frustrating that it has come back and it's hindering my lifts, especially with just how much momentum I've gained over the past like 6 or 7 months. It's been awesome, but for it to come back kind of sucks. And it just is what it is. I was pretty pissed off last week and just, yeah. I had just watched back the clip that I just recorded, and just what I was talking about with some videos that I've recently watched, as well as some notes from our recent church service and the sermon that was given. I actually went out to church. I went out to my car just now because I wanted to pull out the sermon notes, just because I felt like it was something that was important and that really spoke to me in light of what's going on and what I'm trying to accomplish. And one of the verses that was talked about was Jeremiah 9:23-24. Thus says the Lord, let not the wise man boast in his wisdom. Let not the mighty man boast in his might. Let not the rich man boast in his riches. But let him who boasts boast in this, that he understands and knows me, that I am the Lord who practices steadfast love, justice, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, declares the Lord. And I just feel like I need to hear that as someone who coaches, especially coaches a lot of kids, coaches other adults online as well, but especially with coaching kids, being older than them, obviously, and having other, I'm trying to prop this camera, having other life experiences and things, just being more wise than them, but doing it in a way that isn't putting them down or anything like that, and just leveling with them. Even though I am older than them, I do know more than them. I'm bigger and stronger than them in certain ways, and you kind of have some friendly competition with the kids, just the relationship that I have with them. But at the same time, we're all just people, and we all have our struggles, and leveling with them and having that relationship with them. And so, not boasting in wisdom, not boasting in might, and strengths, with being someone who loves weight training, and how much you can lift doesn't determine the kind of person you are. How you treat people and the relationships that you have with people is what's important. And then being someone who's trying to grow a business, and a lot of the things that I don't do for money, even though I do want to be able to have a substantial income and support my future family and those things, but it's not all about those things. And instead it's about your relationship with Jesus, your relationship with those around you, and how you treat people in the right way. And that's just something that really kind of opened my eyes in light of what I feel like I'm going through, and just focusing on what truly is important. Yeah, and I just wanted to interject this clip in between what I was talking about, because it was very important and prominent to what I feel like I have going on. So, but moving forward, it's just going to be a matter of, I'm still going to compete as if everything's good. So I still have a few pounds to cut down. I'm competing at 100 kg or 220 pounds, and I'm still going to cut weight, treat it like a normal meet, and just do whatever I can on the given day. We'll see what happens. I still have a good 4.5 weeks out. So who knows, maybe in a couple weeks I'm good to go, but I also don't want to feel like I'm good to go and push it too early, and then 1 week out or the week of the meet, that hamstring pain come back. That's the last thing I want. So goal is to qualify for nationals. If I don't at this meet, I was looking ahead at the schedule. Unfortunately, there really isn't another meet that is a nationals qualifier in between March, and I think the end qualifying date is the end of April. So that's a little bit frustrating in itself. There's just no nationals qualifying meet within that period. So I'm going to put a lot onto this meet, and just kind of trusting God's plan, and whatever happens, and just show up to meet day and present what I have. Just do my best, and hopefully, God willing, that I'm good to go on meet day, and I can really push it, and then push it without getting injured as well is the big thing. If I'm having significant pain on meet day, it's not something I want to push myself through, and maybe this year, in terms of nationals, maybe this year isn't my year. but maybe this is my year to just build a massive foundation and do everything that I can to grow my business, grow my own lifting, stay healthy, and do all those things. I've made massive strides from last year. Um, there have been some videos I've watched, some sermons at church that have happened that have opened my eyes to just being grateful for where I'm at now compared to last year. Because last year at this time, I was getting ready to have surgery. My family was in the hospital for a long time, my mom and my brother. And so even just to be where I'm at and everybody's being healthy and just continuing to do these things, maybe it's just that time of year to focus on some big changes that are going to come this summer and see where things go. Like I said, maybe this isn't my year for nationals. Put my focus into my other athletes that will qualify or should qualify for nationals. And it's my time to kind of take a little bit of a back seat and just work in the background and continue to just build and build and build. But then in 2026, come back just bigger, better, stronger than ever, and keep pushing. So keeping those options open. I'm not 100% discarding nationals, but understanding for myself if I don't make it, it's not the end all be all. And understand I still have years to grow. Being in this for the long game, that's definitely a thing that we talk about on our podcast is, stuff about being in the future. It's not just about right now. You think about some of the greatest athletes, the greatest power lifters, whatever it may be. It's the people that made their careers last, for sure. You could be the top national competitor, one of the best in the world for 1 year, but if you really want to be the best and you're somebody that can be at the top of their game for many years to come, that's the goal. And if my time to come is not right now, I got to be honest, from a selfish standpoint, I do a lot to give to this school and those kind of things and the kids that I coach and stuff like that and trying to just help people. And on a selfish note, I do feel like, when's my time? Um, now I got to be honest on that. I got to open up to that. Just, I want my time as well. And maybe that's just not right now. And so it is what it is. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop. I'm going to keep pushing, keep grinding. It just might be a little bit in the background, but, yeah, just over the next year or so, better watch out because I'm coming. I got some big goals. So yeah, that was a lot of talking. I don't know how much more I'm going to film. Got a little bit of accessory work and yeah, on with the rest of the day. Got one more basketball game going to Fraser Mountain. It's our last game of the season, long drive, but it's been a good season and a good ride with all these kids through football and basketball season. And see him continue through the rest of the year. So I'm going to end the video right there.